Good morning. I just want to try to make a shorter video this morning to show you what's up for this week. And I apologize because it looks like I just closed my browser. So, while I'm goofing around opening up our Blackboard page again, I just want to remind you of a couple of things. First of all, there are more than 10 discussions available on the discussion board. So if you miss one or two, it's not the end of the world. You can always go back and reply to people. The reason there are so many discussions is to give you some flexibility and choice about the ones you'd like to do, and also because if you want to do all of them, I do hope this can be a discussion-based class. There's also a feature in Blackboard called Blackboard Collaborate, which is like Zoom, but hopefully less of a pain to use. And a few people have mentioned that they do like the face-to-face aspect of discussion. So I will send a link for a doodle poll, so that if you would like to do a discussion online, then we can do that. I can record it, and instead of watching a video where only I'm talking, you can have the mini lecture videos that include your classmates and their questions. So, for today, activities and materials, we are now in the third week. I have whiplash, literally, and from Maymester classes, but I try to make things as enjoyable and manageable as possible. Still, I know it's almost impossible. So in today's folder, we have an excerpt from Claudia Rankine's prose poem book called Citizen. And I should have included some pictures of the book because it includes artwork, and it's a small book about the same size as a CD, a little bit thicker, and just a very interesting book. It has kind of shiny pages, just the way that it's put together. But we have the excerpts here that are just some examples from the book from 2014. I found out about Claudia Rankine from a friend who works at a library in Jackson, Wyoming. Jackson, Wyoming is largely a millionaire community. And my friend is not a millionaire, but she was able to bring Claudia Rankine to their local library to speak. And in February, they bring some of the best known contemporary African American poets because they have a lot of money. And the audience is predominantly white. So one thing I find somewhat interesting about Rankine is that her poetry explains experiences that many people of color can relate to, but at the same time, it educates white people about saying things that might not come across the right way. And people do that unintentionally. And it's like the innocence that James Baldwin talks about. In this class, I typically have people write your own version of a situation, and this way has some examples from previous semesters. And of course, people gave me permission to use their examples, and I have signed sheets from them. This is just an example of some things that happened to a student that were microaggressions. So when someone innocently and unintentionally makes a comment to a person that is different from him or her, and it really rubs them the wrong way, but the person who made the comment never knows it, that's called a microaggression. Interestingly, one of the most common words in Claudia Rankine's Citizen is friend. Even though so much of the material in Citizen is about broken communication, friend and neighbor are two really common words. So we think about brotherly love, love thy neighbor, and friends. it's probably people who you like that are saying these things to you or that you're saying them to unintentionally. So, back to the discussion point quickly. The microaggression kind of discussions applies to race, but also to gender. So if we scroll down all the way to today's discussion, which I put in the wrong place. Okay. Sorry, I'm not going to scroll through and make you look at this whole thing, but the point I'm trying to make is I had a friend in college, and when she came back from summer break, I said, "Wow, you look amazing. Have you been working out?" And what I really meant was that she had lost a lot of weight. She was much thinner. And she was a good friend, so she told me very straightforwardly, I realized that I was fat and I lost weight. So when you say, "Have you been working out?" it just is a way of you saying, like, you used to be fat and lazy and now you look better. So, it's a backhanded compliment, shall we say? And I'll put that discussion back. I have no idea how it disappeared. And I gave a few other examples of ways that people make kind of backhanded, slighting comments without meaning to. And if you have seen or heard of or experienced those examples, the goal is for us to share them and talk about them. So quickly back to activities and materials for today. Claudia Rankine's husband is a videographer and filmmaker. So in addition to the written version of her poem, of her book, we have a recording of her talking about it and why she wrote it. So when you click on the links of the recording, if you want to listen to her reading Citizen, you just have to scroll down and look for the parts that say Citizen and American Lyric. But the videos are examples of Rankine reading from the poem with interesting video accompaniment.
On the train, the woman standing makes you understand there are no seats available. And in fact, there is one. Is the woman getting off at the next stop? No. She would rather stand all the way to Union Station. The space next to the man is a pause in a conversation you are suddenly rushing to fill. You step quickly over the woman's fear, a fear she shares. You let her have it. The man doesn't acknowledge you as you sit down because the man knows more about the unoccupied seat than you do. For him, you imagine it is more like breath than wonder. He has had to think about it so much, he wouldn't call it thought.
So if you want to watch the videos before you read the poem, if you're more of a visual person, I say certainly do that and just watch some of them regardless. I am going to go back now to our main page and give you a couple of quick reminders. In the first paper folder, I have added a new sample paper, mine and Jalen's, so that you can see some of the ways you might do the paper. There's also a video if you enjoy my videos explaining how to do stuff, linked here, and I'll try to remember to embed it as well so that you can see how you might go through the process. Also, the test is in this folder, is in assignments right here, and you have till Friday to do that, I believe. Also, if you don't get emails from me, check your clutter, but remember every day you can also check updates and review, and it will tell you what new materials are available, and it will have a message from me every day that explains what's going on. So if you have any other questions, please just shoot me a message. I will send out a doodle poll about whether people want to use Blackboard Collaborate, and have a great week.